everyone. In this video, we are going to be looking at Article 7 of URC 522, which is on release of commercial documents. Now, this particular article is a little bit tricky. So, how we are going to handle it is quite different from how we used to handle all the other articles. So, first of all, let's read through this article in detail. Subsection A of Article 7 says, collections should not contain bills of exchange payable at a future date with instructions that commercial documents are to be delivered against payment. Section B says, if a collection contains a bill of exchange payable at a future date, the collection instruction should state whether the commercial documents are to be released to the drawee against acceptance or against payment. In the absence of such statement, commercial documents will be released only against payment, and the collecting bank will not be responsible for any consequences arising out of any delay in the delivery of documents. So here, who is not being responsible for the consequences for the delay? That would be the collecting bank. Moving on to subsection C. Subsection C, the last section in this article, says, if a collection contains a bill of exchange payable at a future date and the collection instruction indicates that the commercial documents are to be released against payment, documents will be released only against such payment and the collecting bank will not be responsible for any consequences arising out of any delay in the delivery of documents. So again here, collecting bank is being indemnified from any delay that arises in the delivery of documents. Now, when you read through this article, it might be a little bit confusing. So, first of all, we'll try to decode it clearly. So, then it's easier for us to refer to this short or the summary version of it whenever we are going to study. So, this entire article revolves on this one document, which is Bill of Exchange payable at a future date. And if you see, the very first filter that they are having is whether it is included in the collection or not. So let's say it is not included in the collection. Other option would be yes, it is included in the collection. So go back to subsection A and refer it. It says collection should not contain bill of exchange payable at a future date with instruction that commercial documents are to be delivered against payment. So, if a bill of exchange payable at a future date is not included in the collection, what can you do? Then you can, of course, release the commercial documents. Now, don't ask me what commercial documents means. Please go and refer to Article 2, which covers these definitions. So, you can release these commercial documents against payment. Now, what if your collection has a bill of exchange? Then what do you do? Let's refer to subsection B. It states, if the collection contains a bill of exchange payable at a future date, then the collection instruction should state whether these commercial documents are to be released to the drawee against acceptance or against payment. So, it needs to clearly state in the CI, in the collection instruction, on the method of releasing these commercial documents. So here, yes, bill of exchange included in the collection. Then again, there is another filtering that you require. No collection instruction doesn't state method of release of commercial documents. The other option is yes, collection instruction states the method of release. Okay, ideal path is this. If a bill of exchange is included in the collection instruction, it must state the method of release. But subsection B still continues on. They say if such a statement is not included, then the commercial documents will be released only against payment. And the collecting bank is not responsible for any consequences arising of any delay in the delivery of documents. So in our diagram, if yes, bill of exchange is included in the collection, but no, there is no statement. What happens? Sorry, you will there to release commercial documents against payment. So this is a second scenario where you will release it against payment. Let's go to subsection C. If a collection contains a bill of exchange payable at a future date and the collection instruction indicates that the commercial documents are to be released against payment, documents will be released only against such payment and the collecting bank will not be responsible for any consequences arising out of any delay in the delivery of documents. So here again, yes, there is a statement on the method of release, but there are two types of methods of release. Remember, if statement says release against payment. Now, ideally, if it says release against payment, you shouldn't be having a bill of exchange in the first place. But here they have complied with everything. They have included it in a collection. They have given the method of release. But in the method of release, in the collection instruction, they say release against payment. Then now it's contradictory. Then what do? URC says then you will stick to the collection instruction and release commercial docs against payment, not against acceptance. You have to remember that. And if the other option, if the statement says release against acceptance, then of course you can jolly well go and follow release commercial docs against acceptance. So you can see here, whenever there is a contradiction, you have a bill of exchange, but there is no clear instruction included, or even though the collection instruction includes a method of release, but that says a totally contradictory act of releasing against payment, or if there is no bill of exchange payable at a future date in the collection, in all these three scenarios that we just saw, you can release the documents against payment. In all these three scenarios, let me just highlight it for you. So all these three scenarios, you can release it against payment. When can you release it against acceptance? Your collection should have a bill of exchange payable at a future date, and it should clearly states the method of release in the collection instruction, and that method of release should be to release against acceptance. Only in that scenario you can go ahead and release against acceptance. I hope I was able to clear Article 7 for you in detail. If you have any questions, please do drop in a comment below this video. I will try to resolve it as early as possible. Thank you so much for listening in. We'll meet again in another video discussing on Article 8 of URC 522. Thank you so much for listening in. Subscribe to Learning Business for more videos.